Hello everyone, so today we're going to talk about the DSO-138 DIY oscilloscope kit, and we'll do an unboxing of it, and then we'll do an assembly of it, and then we'll test it out with some circuits, so looking forward to using that. And this may be a multi-part series just because there's a lot of steps to get it built, but it should be fun, and I'll take you along with my journey of doing that. And but I want to thank everyone for subscribing and all the views. I really appreciate it. And just for that, here's a funny picture of a camel. Well, thanks everyone. So today we're going to start working on the DSO-138 DIY oscilloscope kit. And also there's a DSO-138 oscilloscope accessory spare part. So I got like another little kit. It's got spare parts and it's got like a little housing that goes with it. So that should be pretty cool, because when you build the board you won't really have any housing to speak of, as from my understanding of it. So this will help protect it and keep it in a case. You know, it's really a case with spare parts. So that'll be cool. And so yeah, so I thought I'd show you what it looks like when it comes in the bag. I got it off of Amazon. My apologies for the loud noise. This is a static bag that protects the parts from electrostatic discharge. But you know, I did some checking around. I didn't really see anywhere where anyone was saying it was very sensitive to static. But normally you'd wear a static strap working with parts that are very sensitive to static. And usually it's referred to as ESD, so it's electrostatic discharge. But so what I did was I just touched some metal stuff around here, you know, and to make sure that I'm discharged. So hopefully I don't have any static buildup on me to damage any components. But this little unit here was only like $20, I think. Or $20-ish dollars. It probably varies, you know, all the time, but it's a very low investment. So if I did actually break something, it's like, well, not the end of the world. But so this is the first time me opening this, so this is just the way it came to me. And I'm gonna open the bag and get out of this real rustly bag here. My apologies for all the noise, but that's everything out of the bag. And this little spare parts kit, we'll do that later. Just so I don't lose those parts because they're not needed. So it looks like we have a bag with just some discrete components in there. Oh, I see a little oscillator chip in there. That's kind of cool. And some resistors, some very small power, low power, probably 1/8 watt resistors, and so that's pretty cool. And then you have the boards. And I believe these boards have, yeah, these boards have some ICs already soldered on there, thank goodness. And so these are surface mount components, if you can see them there. So there's some surface mount resistors. There's R23 and 24, and this is just U2. And so very fine pitched little parts that I wouldn't be able to solder myself at all. And then, so it's a through hole type board, if you can see these little holes. So that's where the discrete components come in. So that's pretty cool. And I think I'm going to put that back in the bag just to kind of keep it protected. And so yeah, I'm afraid to open these up right now, but you can see all the little connectors and things. So we'll be soldering all these on here on this board, so that'll be pretty cool. And then here is looks like the instructions to it. So I may go ahead and, it doesn't look like there's like a ton of things in it that could fall. I was just afraid of opening that other bag because it's got a lot of little small things. Oh, that's a display. Look at that. How cool is that? A little display there. Look at that. How neat. So that's what we'll be looking at once it powers up. And pretty much it. I mean, there's really not a whole lot that comes with it. So hopefully we can get this thing to work. And if not, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos I could look at, and of people who's already done it before us. But yeah, so this ought to be fun. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to do a little more things in the lab. Like, so in here I don't want to do any soldering in my lab that I have in my house. So I'm going to go to the shed and set up a little soldering station out there. And then I've bought a little like when you solder, you want to have some sort of a way of getting the exhaust away from you, because you want to be just sitting in a room breathing the smoke that comes when you're off when you're soldering. So I bought a fan and a little like it's kind of like a pipe that goes out. So we're going to hook that up and get that going, and then I'll probably do some video on that. And then once I get all that set up, then we'll start at step one and start assembling this. So I think it's about time to go to the lab. So yeah, let's go to the lab. All right, so we made it to the lab. Now this is not my normal lab. This is more of a workshop that I use just for general stuff. But anyway, I'm going to do my soldering out here because I really didn't want to solder in the house. Because there is when you're soldering components, there's a certain amount of like smoke and things that gets released. So the goal is to get that away from you, So what I had to do was I had to hook up some sort of a ventilation system. And my apologies if you hear a rooster in the background. I'm outside in my shed, so we have a rooster next door, which is pretty cool. He's kind of neat, but so you may hear him from time to time. But so what I needed a way to ventilate the smoke out of away from the work area. And if you look here, right up this way, you'll see the what I have. It's kind of funny looking, the way it's set up. But I have this pipe. Well, actually, what I did was I have these ventilation ports in my shed, and what I did was I took some cardboard, cut a hole in it, and laid it over one of the holes here. And this little pipe runs over that hole, and it goes down to the work area. So they do make other little devices that you can use. So you don't necessarily have to do this. This is from Amazon. It probably costs like $17. And this right here is a board holder. So you just put your board in there, and you can move it back and forth like this to really clamp the board down real good without damaging it. It just holds it steady. That way you can work on it. And then we'll have a soldering iron, and we'll have that all set up here. And then we'll do some soldering, and we'll turn the fan on to move that smoke away from our work area. But they have other little gadgets you can buy, like these filters. It's got a fan in it, and it'll just filter out the smoke. But I kind of wanted something to actually eject the smoke outside, ventilate it outside. So I'm going to try this. Hopefully it's not going to be too loud. I hadn't powered it up yet, but I'm waiting on a USB power supply. So once that comes in, we'll start doing that. So next what we'll do is we'll get the board and the boards that's in the little packet, and then we'll lay out all the parts, and then we'll start categorizing those, and then we'll start I guess starting from step one, and we'll start soldering things, and then hopefully in the end we'll have a nice working oscilloscope. So we'll start that next. So just want to give you an update on the fan that I have. I did receive a box, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this box and I'm going to see if I can modify it and make it into a reflector to help guide the smoke through the pipe. So I'll work on that, and then I'll kind of show you what I come up with. Okay, so here's the idea I came up with. What I'm going to do is I cut the one of the walls off this box, and what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to have the little holder like this, right, with our board on there, and then I'm going to take this right here, and I'm going to mount it right in there. I'm going to put it right in here. And then that way we can work here, and then hopefully the smoke will go that way and out the back. So I'm gonna just draw a circle right here and just kind of put that in there, and then we'll tape it up, and then I'll be back just in a second to show you what it looks like. All right, so I have the hole carved in there. So now we're going to put this in, and then hopefully hook the little pipe on the back, and we should be in business. So let's see how that goes. So now all I got to do is connect the pipe right here. But I did realize I actually have one of these pipe fitting things from a long time ago for like a not a dishwasher, but a dryer, and you could connect the exhaust port on the dryer with that. So I'm going to use this, and that might look a little neater than using tape. So I'm going to give that a shot and show you how that goes. So I've got the little connector on there, so I think I'm almost there. I'm going to keep tightening that up. We'll see if it'll lock it in. Hopefully it will. I mean, it should if I don't over tighten it. I just don't want to damage it or put a hole in the little pipe. That's a possibility. But I can put tape over it. So hey, I think I got it. Yeah, I think that got it. Well, it's kind of off a little bit right there, but see if I can loosen it and kind of get it. Let me loosen it up just a little bit. Maybe I can get it closer on there. But I think that's got it. I mean, I think that's pretty much going to work. Because my plan was just to get some tape and just tape it up. But yeah, I think that's going to work. So let's go ahead and tighten that on there. And there we go. I think that's got it. Let's see. Yeah, so it's all around there now. It's all tightened up around there. So there we go. So yeah, that looks a lot better now. So there's the little pipe going in. You can see, got it on there, and then I have our little fan going, and then I have the little cable just going up there, and then all I got to do now is just kind of tighten it up a little bit. What I'm going to do, see if I can get the little board holder in there, and yeah, I think that'll work. So so I'm going to kind of tape this up a little bit, and then I'll turn it on. We'll see how loud it's going to be. So there you go. Oh, so another thing that I did was I scored this side, that little flap right there, and I made a flap to where I just bend it over. You can see here where I bend it over. So now it's kind of, you know, bent some to where I can I'm trying to move the camera around where you can see it. So now it's kind of bent a little bit to where the flap has been over a little bit. That way, hopefully when the exhaust comes up, it'll hopefully be directed right in there. And I think I need to tape this bottom part down here a little bit. Looks like it kind of came loose, so we'll tape that part, and then I think we'll be done, and then we'll fire this up and see how it sounds. So I kind of went a little above and beyond. I actually mounted the little speed control knob right here. That way I can kind of adjust that if I need to, and it'll be out of the way. So all right, so I'm getting ready to plug this guy up, and we'll see if it works. So I do believe oh yeah, I got to get my little plug over here. I've got I kind of moved it out of my way, but let's give it a shot and see what happens. There's our friend the rooster again. Okay. Oh, there it goes. How about that? Cool. And I think it's... So I can turn it down really low. Well, that's off, I guess. And then, really, I don't need much, I don't think. So yeah, so hopefully that won't be too loud, I don't think. Well, I was really worried it was going to be super loud, but it's really pretty quiet. So now I can move this over now, like really close, and it'll hopefully keep all the smoke away from us. So awesome. So there's a DIY, really simple exhaust vent that you can make for yourself. All right. And yeah, maybe I'll kind of put this on the website too, buildcircuitswithrich.com. I'll see if I can kind of come up with some, kind of what I did to make this happen. So, all right. So I guess that now the next thing is to start assembling the oscilloscope. Well, one last finishing touch to this. I couldn't resist. I had to put painter's tape around the edges, because it looked pretty gnarly where I had cut the box loose. I didn't really, take a lot of care in cutting the box. So, so yeah, so I just put some painter's tape around there to make it look kind of pretty. So, All right, so there you go. There's a poor man's vent hood. so anyway, it should be fun. Hopefully it'll hold up. And I'm going to keep this. I mean, it looks like it's pretty rugged. So I'm going to hang on to this because we'll be doing some more builds and soldering things. So I'm just going to hang on to this. And that way I can easily I'll store it in the shed. And then when I need it, I can plug it up and use it. So, yeah. All right. So let's get, hopefully we can get to building the circuit pretty soon. So stay tuned for the next video. We're going to work on assembling the oscilloscope. And I've already got it set up and ready to go for our next video. It's in the holder, and of course I haven't got the fan on yet, but it's all in the ventilation system and ready to go. All right, I'll see you then, and thanks for watching. Hello everyone, thanks for spending time with me on the DIY oscilloscope kit. But before you go, I'd like to read a scripture from the Holy Bible. It's Proverbs 3, verses 5 through 7. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes. Fear the Lord, and depart from evil. All right, well, thank you very much, and take care.